Hello, Gooner. We're doing another video about the book called Arsene Who. Last episode, I talked about the first two chapters. This episode, I'm going to be talking about chapter 3. Chapter 3 is called Stretching Goals. So in this chapter, it talks about more of when Arsene Wenger first came into the training regime, first came to Coney, and at that point in time, things were different at Arsenal. Our training ground, right, was at that time a college university ground. Wenger saw this and was like, "This is not Arsenal." He saw our our changing rooms. At the time, we didn't have a training room. We would go to the hotels. We would change in the hotels, hop on a coach, and then go to the game. So then he said, "This is an Arsenal." And what I'm getting from this at the very beginning is that when he's saying all these things like, "Oh, this is an Arsenal," and so, he's saying that this team's level can be so much better if we start investing in certain things in certain areas. I think these are the early signs of that this club is gonna, or this team, or this man is a visionary, and he's gonna change certain things at Arsenal, change certain things in English football. We have seen that Arsene Wenger is the type of person that he will say certain things, and those things slowly come to pass because he's well educated. He's a really well educated man. In terms of football, he did play, but he played like lower league French football. He played for lower league German football, and he played centre back. He wasn't as technically gifted, and so when he came into training, these are things he was noticing. And so I think they call this chapter "Stretching Goals" because he started changing some of the routines of the players. So what he would do is match days, 8 a.m. What the players usually do, they usually just sleep in. Instead, 8 a.m. he started doing stretches with them, and some of them didn't like this. I'm pretty sure Tony Adams was one of the players that didn't really like stuff like that, like all the stretching. And so he'll do yoga, he'll do heavy stretches, and he'll do it with them, which is very foreign to them because George Graham didn't do stuff like that, right? So he wasn't with them. He was more like suit and tie in the corner, analyzing stuff, whereas Arsene Wenger was in there. You get me? And so they'll do lots of stretches, and the reason why they do that is because Arsene Wenger believed that if you do all these stretches, then it makes you more refreshed, makes you more nimbler, and it increases your body strength so that during games they're faster, stronger, and after games they don't feel as sore. And the players did say that they did start to feel this. Lee Dixon is one of the players was just like, "Yo, this is actually really good." Ray Parlour, they were like, "Yo, this is something that I really like." They really enjoyed and liked what Wenger was doing. Players like Tony Adams, which is funny, didn't like this. And another thing that Wenger was changing at this point in time, he was changing their diets. So while at the ground, while with him, he stopped them from eating heavy sweets. He stopped them from eating fatty foods. He changed the chef's diets to low fat diets, so they'll be eating chicken, broccoli, fish, and these all would be grilled, right? The reason being is because he knew he couldn't stop them from eating all of these foods at home, but if you could, and because they're athletes, because they're footballers, on the day-to-day training, they're burning so much calories that like they're gonna burn all the bad stuff and the good stuff, right? But then if he's able to level it out, so at home they're eating whatever they want to eat, and then level it out and then get them to like eat the good stuff while on the ground, it wouldn't be as bad. And again, the players start to see these results from the subtle changes early on. The first game they played was against Blackburn, and they beat them 2-0. And again, the players were like, "Yo, like we can feel it. We feel stronger. We feel faster. We feel more energized on the pitch." And so that's from a physical standpoint. And we're all football fans. We know what feeling stronger and faster would do to you when you're playing football. Imagine someone like Kyle Walker, right? And imagine if, for example, he wasn't eating the best and he wasn't doing these stretches, and then he started to do that. His play will completely change. You see how Kyle Walker's so good on a recovery break for City right now. Imagine if he was maybe 2% stronger or 2% faster. That extra difference is the difference between him catching someone comfortably or him having a struggle. And a whole team being 2% more effective physically is ridiculous, right? And so what we get is that, like, in early stages, they're getting to know Wenger. They're seeing that he may not be the best footballer because he was hands-on with the training. He was picking the balls with them early on, but he's highly competitive, highly knowledgeable, and he knows what he's doing. But we're getting a little bit of friction with some players. I'm gonna keep reading. Maybe him and Tony Adams will have like a coming together where they discuss their differences. But we'll see. That is chapter 2. No, sorry. That is chapter 3. Scratching goals. Peace.